Yeah, so this change in trajectory was reported on October 29th, just a few days ago, and it was inferred from a deviation that was measured by the ALMA Observatory in Chile, and we are still waiting for more data, but I calculated that if this was triggered by mass loss as the object got close to the sun, so that it got a recoil in the standard way that comets get, then it should have lost a significant fraction of its mass, about a sixth of its mass, and that implies that there should be 5 billion tons of material around it that were lost, and it's a major mass loss that should reveal the nature of the object if that's the case. But it could also be a completely different propulsion method that has to do with technology, and for that we have to keep our minds open. And so we will see in the coming weeks what the origin of this non-gravitational acceleration is, how big it is. But the first time it was reported was just a few days ago.
Maybe some people some experts are talking about this three atlas, this acceleration, and some people is talking about that it's becoming more bluer. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so the acceleration, I should say, if it came from a technological origin, then it makes sense, because you expect to get the most efficient boost to the velocity at closest approach to the sun, taking advantage of the gravitational assist of the sun. We do that with spacecraft. But in general, we just don't know what is the origin of that acceleration, and the object became indeed bluer than the sun when it came closest to it. That's surprising, because usually when an object loses mass in the form of dust, the dust reddens an object, it becomes redder. And also red means a cool temperature. And usually we expect these objects to have much cooler temperature than the surface of the sun, because they are at a distance from the surface, and we expect the 3I Atlas to have a temperature of order a few hundred degrees above absolute zero. That's 20 times smaller than the surface temperature of the sun of 5,800 degrees. So it should have appeared red relative to the sun. Nevertheless, it's blue. So there are two possibilities again. One is that this blue color was obtained from carbon monoxide that lost an electron. That's a molecule that can, in principle, generate blue light. And if there is a lot of carbon monoxide, the CO, near the object, it might be the origin of the blue light. But another possibility is that the object has an engine that is much hotter than the surface temperature of the sun, and that's where the blue color comes from.